Oh, Theo, welcome to the chat. I see you are here. There's no one else here, so if you want to ask a question, please do so in the comment box. I'm just enjoying a coffee. I just had a kickboxing class, so I'm still in, and my muscles are still a little on the stiff side, but I got about 7 hours or so to recover before my next kickboxing class tonight. But I got some apologetic stuff I got to do tonight, so. All right, so we are live on StreamYard. I'm gonna throw it open live. Actually, wait, I just live on YouTube too. I don't have to. It does that on its own, so never mind. But if you have a question, actually, maybe I'll just put on YouTube just because it might be a slightly different target audience. Even though it can't help to be thorough, right? So that's what we're gonna do. All right, let's do this. All right, let's go. Someone is here. Good. Shh. Man, too loud. All right. Anyway. I lost somebody. Well, hopefully they come back. All right. Let's go ahead. All right, so we're going to have a roundtable discussion as soon as there's people to have a discussion with, either in the comment section or joining me, or both, or one or the other. But,
You got it, Brad coming?
Oh, someone's here. Oh, okay. It's that guy. Okay. Ask me a question. It's going to start streaming on YouTube in about 8 minutes. All right. If no one's going to ask me a question, there's something else you got to do for a minute. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I should be live in a couple of minutes now. YouTube is going live 3 minutes from now. Oh, someone else is here. Who's here? So, all right. I see two people on StreamYard. Oh, there's a private chat. Let me open that. How much do you read a day on average? How much do you study before debates, YouTube essays? I would say I read about. That's a good question. I'd say I read about 200 pages a day. I study to writing, research, and coming online. Preparing for my debates is different from person to person. I tend to let things slide, things on short-term memory closer to the debate rather than preparing incrementally before. Like, for example, I have a debate on Monday morning that I haven't really prepared for because I don't have one. It's a topic that I'm really well versed on, and secondly, I'm not really. I've done some preparedness, and I'm just not really worried about it because I'm not worried about it. The one on the 29th, a little bit more because it's technical. One on have to drop work. Appreciate the answer. Okay. Just one more thing. So for me, it depends on the subject matter and my interlocutor. So for Catholics, it's not much work, brain work for me. So I don't spend too much time. But if it's something like Modern Day Debate Channel, like I'm doing mid-May, yeah, I'm definitely gonna spend some time for that. What else? So I'm going to be on Modern Day Debate Channel likely. I'm just going to throw this out right now. May 11, 8 p.m. That's Saturday night, mid-May, 8 p.m. I'm going to be debating London Storm on is God real or not, or does God exist? So for all you philosophy, atheistic people, this is the shit for us. Okay, so yeah, good. And Justin at Modern Day Debate is in contact with me and with Justin. Theo, I'm assuming by your screen name that you're a theist. Am I correct? I don't know, but you can tell me. So that's the big one that I'm definitely going to make myself very prepared for the debate with London. I've seen some of London's stuff, and he's not someone to be taken lightly as an interlocutor. He is young, but he's also a skilled rhetorician and logician. So I've watched him do a debate and or not a debate, a reaction thing. But I've seen his content, and in one 24-hour minute, he only employed one category error or logical fallacy. So, and I was watching with the fine-tuned theological comb, if you will. So this kid knows his stuff. And so I'll just leave it at that. He has some issues that he needs to work out with me. Philosophically, I'll still take him to task, but it won't be an easy task for me. And that's good. I don't want it easy. I want it. I want my skills sharpened. So that's that. And then there is one with Kim, which is going to be June 3rd. It's going to be moderated by Gary at FTW_crosstalk. And then there's one, and it's supposed to be like June 15, but I don't know if that's going to happen because I'm trying to get the guy to respond to me. But he wants to do a 12-hour debate, and there's just no way in hell I'm doing a 12-hour debate, even with breaks. So I'm going to do 2.5-hour cap. If he wants to debate more than that, then he's just going to have to find someone else because I'm just going to wipe myself out like that. There's just no wisdom in it. And I'm more concerned with my overall health than a debate. A debate is fine, but I mean, if he wants to, we can break it up between. All right. Yeah. Go ahead, man. Why do you make your most? That's not really okay. Just my own proclivities in the past. The big AW. So that's the answer to that question. Rob, on my way home, got to get myself something to eat first. Yeah. Okay. Kim, I've got lots of time, man. So take your time. Take your time. I just had to switch from private chat to regular chat because I was there's people that threw out that someone threw questions in my private chat, and now I realized that Kim and the big AWC threw out. And I don't record until it's so that's just that you're just being an idiot. So the big AWC, stop being an idiot. I record at McDonald's restaurants, not toilets, you moron. What the hell do you think I'm like? What the hell? Like, where do you guys come up with this shit? Or are you just being facetious? I don't know. It's hard to tell sometimes on social media if people are being glib or serious, especially atheists, because usually the nuance is lost in atheists. All right. Oh. All right. Oh, Gary. Gary. Thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate the support because I've got Darwinists attacking me. Not that I can't handle myself because I have the power of Christ within me, and as we both know, He who is in us is stronger than He is in the world. But there's an atheist that's coming on, and I've already been owning him a couple times, so now we can just own him together.
Oh, I just came to check it out. I mean, I'll let you. I just came to hear hear the debate.
Well, you know how it's going to go.
I know exactly how it's going to go
because we can predict the future by looking at the past, which is kind of what is that indicative? Pattern, design.
All
right.
Yeah. Intelligence. Yep.
Intelligence. Yeah. Hey, thanks for coming on. I noticed you're actually the first theist who's responded. It's usually atheists that are ready to go. I think we have to learn something. There is one thing we have to learn from atheists: power in numbers. We got to band together more, man.
Yeah. Or I could just take them 1 on 10 too. Like I'm fine with that too.
Okay. Like, well, I mean, if it's just Chem, I can handle them. But if there's more than one, you can stay on. How's that?
Yeah. We'll
make it a numbers game. You and I
just came for the discourse. I wanted to hear what was going.
That's why I wanted to do a roundtable discussion. Chem is on. Can you see? You can see the chat, right?
No.
Chem. No.
Oh yes. No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. See, Chem is what is it? Chem is the guy I'm going to be debating in June. So this is perfect for you too.
All right. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah. So perfect. Because you're the moderator. So, man, talk about divine appointment. There you go, brother. Oh, in their world, dude, that's just a coincidence, right?
Let's do it. Absolutely.
Yeah. I have a rule about coincidences. They happen too often to be coincidental.
100%.
I said this like 25 years ago. Coincidence. I said no such thing. Hey, Crosstalk, be nice to meet you as you'll get myself fed here.
What you're on Facebook Live right now?
Pardon? I'm on StreamYard Live. StreamYard Live.
Where are those chats coming from? You're on YouTube also, or?
No, it's on YouTube and on StreamYard.
What's the YouTube channel again?
My name.
Is it okay?
It should be coming up anyway.
GR. All right, I'm gonna mute up until you guys are ready. I'm gonna do some things.
All right. All right. So Cam, looking forward to it. I did not see Cam. I don't know who 3D Boxing is. It was a ride. Hopefully, you can come over some here once I was making food. 3D Boxing blog. I'm assuming you're on the wrong side of the aisle. Take that however the heck he wants. All right. Kem is on his way home, and he's going to get on the channel, which is good because, like I said, Gary's going to be our moderator for the June 3rd debate. And Kem and I are going to be debating each other on, so just kind of worked out well today. Oh, I have some things. 1 second, Gary. I made some rudimentary notes for stuff. I think you'll appreciate this. All right. Here we go. I'm getting a little more tech savvy, Gary. There we go. Oh, wait. This is not finished. I got a better one. Right. Oh, this one's better. You'll like this one here. There you go. There you go, Gary. Can you see that? You can see it, right? The screen. Unmute your mic for a second, Gary. Oh, he's reading it. Okay. See, it's good. It's logical. See, I destroyed it in a simple little rudimentary logical flowchart here. This is how dumb it is and easy to destroy. I'm not getting any indication of. I don't know if Gary's reading it or he's doing something else. Maybe I should talk to Gary. I'm going to talk to Gary in the box. I'm talking to you, Gary. Anyways, all right. Well, we got a few people in the stream, so I don't know. I think we're still waiting on this one. All right. Hey, the Kentucky Atheist. Hey, Kentucky. Welcome to the show. Is there anything you'd like to add? I have Gary, who's a Christian apologist as well, and I have a few things in abiogenesis that I just think are logical. But you're live on YouTube. Did you see Rob's convo? I saw a little bit of it. I know. I think Peter's a little bit too much sometimes. I think Peter and I get in each other's hair. I honestly block Peter, not because I hate Peter, but because I just get too agitated with Peter, and Peter and I just get on each other's skin. So for my own mental health, I blocked Peter, and that's about it. I blocked him for my own health. He's like the only one that he just goes out of his ways to piss me off. So I just got better things to do than talk to people that are just bad. Like Peter said that he's in a. Gary, you're listening? Gary, you listening? Okay. Well, of course, that works for both ways. So don't put that only on your side. Peter said that he's in a relationship with two women who are also themselves in a relationship, and he wants to talk to me about morality. Like, what a clown. So yeah, I'm done with Peter. Okay, what is it? I blocked him. No, Kim, I blocked him for my own mental health. We just get under each other's skin. So it's nothing personal. I just choose health. I choose health over anger. No, Kim, I blocked him because I am nice, because I don't want to lose my cool. I want to be respectful. And Peter just has a way of getting under my skin. I've got a way of getting under his skin, so it's just better we're not crossing hair. So yeah, Kim, it's not about being nice or not nice. It's just for my own health. That's all it is. Nothing personal against Peter. I got to choose my own health over debates. I'm still waiting for the problem, Kentucky Atheist. I'm waiting. Okay, start backing it up. Oh, sorry. Oh, well, if side doesn't require observation, then we can account for special revelation and creation. I'm glad we're on the same side there, Kentucky atheist. Maybe you're not an atheist after all. Because if I know, I'm just helping you try to steel man your argument, which you haven't done yet. Trust me, it's this kind of rhetoric happens to me all the time, so just flow with it. Nothing is personal. All right. I know that's not what you said. I'm having fun. I don't know why atheists are too hyper literal. It's like I've said before, it's like nuances are entirely lost without nuance. I'm still waiting. What's the problem? You've made claims, but I haven't seen any backing up of claims. If science doesn't need direct observation, you're going to have a whole fun time here, Kentucky. Doesn't require that you actually see the first life. Ah, okay, so we are already assuming. Okay, we're making a circular argument and a begging the question. And we're also assuming that light can come from non-light, which, by the way, on the face of it is, well, insane and absurd. If you want to do more on this, I'm going to link Gary's and I's discussion on abiogenesis on this channel. Actually, Gary, do you have if you have time, do you want to link in the chat our show that we did together on our abiogenesis in the description? Oh, Kem's here. Okay, never mind. Welcome, Kem.
What's good, man? What's good?
Okay, I'm going to mention things because this is divine appointment. Gary who is our moderator in June, happens to be with us. So there we go. There we go. Now that we know that God exists because we didn't plan it and it still happened. Bam.
Yeah.
Hey, remember that gift? I had to do it.
He had to do it to him, bro. Oh, that's crazy. That's crazy.
But I mean, it's like staring a gift in the face and not opening it, man. Like, you know, if you were in my position, you probably would have done the same thing.
I mean, it's a nice coincidence.
Yeah, I knew that you were going to say that.
Gary, how's it going, brother?
It's good. It's good. It's nice to meet you too. I'm just here to observe. I'm just here to take in the discourse.
Wonderful.
Yeah,
where are you from? You from the U.S. or you from?
Oh yeah, I'm from the U.S. I live in West Virginia.
Cool. Yeah. Okay.
We have a theme. Kem is usually eating something because he's on the fly. I'm just totally messing with you, brother. It's totally cool.
Rob, what happened last night, homie? What happened last night?
Oh, my battery died.
No. What happened last night with Peter, bro?
Oh, I just was sleep deprived.
Oh man. Yeah. That was a ride.
Yo,
I stayed up till like 3 a.m. watching that and reviewing it live. It was pretty bad.
Yeah, dude. I said it's probably a good idea. It was probably good for me that my laptop died because I was just I get irritable when I'm sleepy. And that's
the bags under your eyes, man. You weren't doing so hot.
I know. I'm gonna sleep well tonight. So,
Sorry,
but I
Gary. What were you
I
saying?
got a bunch of stuff that I got to do today. So unfortunately, I got to plow through. But tonight I'm gonna sleep.
Good.
I
good.
got that same come and take it flag in my garage. The one behind.
Oh,
me.
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah.
Say that again, Gary.
The same come and take it flag with the AR-15 on it. I have that at my garage.
Oh,
The same flag.
nice.
The Associated Press has a fantastic photo of me with
Okay. Well,
that
I've got
flag out
yeah.
in Virginia, in Richmond, for Lobby Day 2020.
Oh
If you
yeah.
Google
Oh
my
yeah.
name, you can
What?
find it.
Now that you just mentioned behind, London, who I'm going to be debating in May, was wondering about all your libertarian stuff behind you.
Oh yeah, these are my flags because I'm a libertarian.
Okay. Well, he thought that was lame, but he wanted. That's all he said about that. All right. I told him I didn't notice because I was focused on the dialogue, not what was going on behind him. But London is an observant kid,
Excuse me.
and I know that I can't underestimate either you or London going forward.
You definitely shouldn't, man. You definitely
No, I won't. I have no intention to. But that goes both ways. You guys shouldn't underestimate me either.
I mean, if I take what happened between you and Peter last night, man.
Yeah, but that's
I'm gonna say you got demolished pretty solidly.
Yeah, that's because the thing is that's a moment in time, so you can't take one moment in time.
It's the whole hour and a half, buddy.
It's okay. It's still a moment in time.
I mean, yeah, but
It's still a moment in time. Okay. I'm not here to rehash it. Let's move on.
Well, that's what I came to talk to you about. I wanted to follow up with you about last night.
Okay, but if you're gonna do that, then you're gonna have to be respectful, which you can't.
I am being respectful, Rob.
Okay, all right, okay, go ahead.
I'm just concerned that the one thing that Peter you guys sort of went round and round about was the whole evidence thing.
Well, the thing is, I believe I presented it, but not in a way that
you presented. Let me bring up the notes because I took notes.
No,
you presented arguments.
No, Kim, let me finish. I presented things that he doesn't accept, and I know that I can't prove it on the face of it for the satisfaction that he's looking for.
Okay, so according to my notes here, the three arguments that you gave were irreducible complexity, fine-tuning, and uniformity on Earth. I didn't know what that really meant.
Well, but it's all uniformity. Just means Gary knows what it means too, but he's not here to white knight for me. It basically just means we can infer order and design through observation of the natural world that we can also infer in with the supernatural.
Okay. I would disagree with that, but that's not. That's neither here nor there.
Of course you would.
So irreducible complexity and fine-tuning are arguments. They're not evidence, right? Those are claims.
Okay, but but I also gave more claims, and maybe you missed the other ones.
Let me see.
I can just tell you so you can save time.
Sure, go ahead.
Oh, there's over 8 billion people on the planet. No two fingerprints alike. That's a big one for me.
DNA, that's not necessarily true.
Okay, anyways. There's DNA is biological code. That's my big one.
Okay, let's talk about DNA then. What is DNA? What does DNA do that points to God specifically, other than being biological code?
Biological code. It's code.
Sure. I mean, it's not literally code, right? We just sort of interpret it to work kind of like code.
Well, then you're just playing a semantical game.
I mean, it's important that we call things what they are.
You can't live without it. It's information.
It is information. Yeah, sure.
Well, where does information come from?
Code.
Someone informs information. It's usually how it works.
No.
That's usually how it works. It's
usually. Can I ask a question, Kim?
Sure.
Can you show me information? Can you show me code that wasn't designed by an intelligent mind? If you can, then I'll certainly take a look at it.
This is the fundamental problem with like referring to DNA as code, right? It's helpful as a matter of common parlance to call it code, but it is not code in the sense that it was written. Right.
Okay. Now you have to prove that. That's your claim. Now you need to prove that claim.
Okay.
Right.
Well,
you're saying it wasn't written. I disagree. Rob disagrees. So just to say it's code is just not code is begging the question, right?
Yes,
because
it is.
We believe that it was written because all code is written. logically. So now you have to prove that this specific code just randomly popped into existence without an intelligent mind. And I'll let you do that. I'm going to mute up so I don't cut you off.
I mean, what do you call your birth then? Because your DNA came about spontaneously through the process of fertilization, right? Your DNA is different than the DNA of your parents.
Yeah, but what's your point?
My point is that your DNA came about spontaneously.
Through my parents.
Written by it was written by your parents.
You haven't proven that. Ken.
Well, hold on. Did your parents write your DNA sequence?
No.
Did my parents? No, my creator did.
Yeah.
So now you have to prove that DNA code popped into existence by itself.
It did. It did pop in by itself.
I understand. You keep saying it did.
Do you understand how
any evidence?
Do you understand how like meiosis or not meiosis, but fertilization
it's your claim.
works?
It's your. You know what? It's your claim.
Sure.
You say DNA popped into existence randomly on its own. I'm gonna let you prove that.
No, your DNA. Your specific.
Whoever,
DNA.
it doesn't matter. Anyone's DNA.
Yeah.
Anyone's DNA.
I don't know if they give you guys the talk in church, but when the sperm meets the egg, right? The two halves of these DNA sequences, your dad and your mom, they come together through a natural process, and then your new unique DNA sequence, it's spontaneous.
Still begging the question.
What do you mean by?
You mean I'm begging the question?
I would say it was
because you're just kicking the can further down the street.
Process.
It is.
You're avoiding epistemology. You're avoiding epistemology.
Epistemology. Bro.
Yeah, you're saying, okay, we're talking about the origins of the DNA code itself, not just your parents. So kick the can all the way down the street.
Okay. All right. DNA arose from RNA.
How do you know that?
Because we have we have the evolutionary record to show it. We have the fossil record to show it. We have RNA currently in the world. We have DNA currently in the world, and we can see how one becomes the other.
That's it.
We've done it in a lab. We can demonstrate how it happened on Earth.
But if you are a free agent who demonstrates it, then it's not happening naturally. You're a free agent who's also in the process of.
If you're simulating the conditions that exist.
Yeah, but then you're essentially enabling the process, so it's not necessarily neutral. You're part of it.
Sure, for the purposes of a lab demonstration, yes,
I
induced it. But the fact that I was able to induce it means that it is a process that can happen.
Here's the problem with your scenario, Kim.
Okay.
You can't do it without an agent putting it in the lab. Therefore, it kind of falls in the face of it.
That's okay. So you misunderstand what it means to demonstrate something in a laboratory setting, right? Which tells me that you didn't read the experiment that I sent you.
No, I haven't had time to yet. But
you should probably do that before you keep making arguments about abiogenesis.
But that aside, it doesn't negate the logical problem for you.
Okay, just because you can't make sense of it, Rob, doesn't mean it doesn't make sense.
No. This is argument from incredulity. This is argument from ignorance. Just because I can't make sense of it.
Yeah, that's the argument that you're making.
That's
the argument that you're making. It doesn't make sense. It's not possible. It's not logical. Okay, we'll read up on the studies, right?
It's still a straw man on your part.
No, Rob, listen to me, man. You need to know thy enemy, right? You need to know what the other side is saying. We're not just making claims. We are backing this stuff up with evidence. You have to read up on it, bro. You have to get educated.
So, what was your evidence that
I sent him the Wikipedia abstract of the Miller-Urey experiment, which was conducted in 1952, that demonstrated that amino acids are synthesizable in prebiotic conditions on Earth.
Sure,
that they can spontaneously generate in prebiotic conditions.
Okay, so
yeah,
by
I can send you a link to this as well.
I'm well aware of the study. I'm well aware of the study. So by itself or under the auspices of an intelligent mind?
That's what we're trying to say.
Okay, by itself.
It's just one or the other. By itself or under the auspices. It's just an A or B type of thing. A by itself or B under the auspices of
giving agency to a natural process.
Cam, I get it, bro. I understand. A by itself or B under the auspices of an intelligent mind.
A without active direction.
I disagree. I think you're being. I think you're.
Well, I mean, the Miller-Urey experiment disagrees with
I would say it was conducted by an intelligent mind. You would say there was no.
Okay, can you produce this intelligent mind?
The person who did the study would be the intelligent mind.
Can you
Didn't
produce the
happen by
intelligent
itself.
mind in your scenario that produced it?
All right,
the
I'm
person
going
who
to
did
full
the
screen
people
again.
who
If someone's just trolling in the
the
comments
people who
section.
conducted the study, Ken, would be the
Hey
intelligent
girls,
mind.
can you try just a little bit quieter, thanks? I'm in the middle of something here. Thank you.
I mean, I'm reading the
Go ahead.
chat. Hold on. Interesting. Okay, so
Let me
let's
just
go
the person
back
that
to the
conducted
moment,
study
right?
would be the intelligent mind behind the study, right? The person who is in the lab would be the intelligent mind in my position.
Sure. They are collecting data. They are doing an experiment to see if a process is possible. Right.
So, but the process could only be possible.
Would be
if
possible
people
only
have-
with an intelligent mind.
Not
conducting it.
necessarily. Not
Okay, then
necessarily.
okay.
They are
all right, perfect.
they are simulating.
Perfect.
That's a claim, Kevin.
Let me
Okay,
see it. Let me see it in nature without an intelligent mind. Where can I observe it in nature without an intelligent mind? If I
The
can't, just say I can't.
conditions to do it are no longer present.
Okay, so I can't observe it. I can't observe it in nature. Correct?
You don't have to observe it. We can
Okay,
replicate.
yes or no? I can observe it in nature.
Not presently.
No, so
Not
it's
to my knowledge.
It's your
no.
religious belief. Look, you're entitled to your religion.
Hold on.
It's a religious
Hold on.
Stop. Let me finish.
Hold on.
I let you go. I let you answer the question. You're entitled to your religious belief. Okay, it's a religious belief. It's not scientific. You can't prove it scientifically. You have no evidence to suggest it. You just say it maybe at
The
one
whole
time.
experiment is evidence that it is possible, man.
No, because it's not observable, so it's not scientific. It's your
You
religious
observe it in the lab. What are you talking about?
Okay, so I have to be able to observe it in nature. Otherwise, it's not scientific. The first step of the scientific method is observe a phenomenon in nature. If I can't observe it, it's not scientific. Look, Kev.
Okay, can I ask you a
It's
question?
your religion. I'm not trying to knock your religion, but just don't say like my religion, my religious belief is a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like,
So
you
can
can't
I
prove
can I
it.
ask you a question about your
Yeah.
religious belief?
I don't
Did
have
you
a religion,
observe
but go
God
ahead.
creating the world?
Did I observe God creating the world? I
Yeah.
did not.
Okay, so how can you prove it? If it's not an observable thing,
Prove it by
how
what
can
you say. Prove by what standard? I can prove it logically.
No,
like,
well,
but-
no, because you're asking
Well,
me
so
for
I'm asking you-
data, for evidence, right? So let's apply that same evidentiary standard to your religious views. Can you
Which
prove
which religious view is that?
yours, the one
Which one?
of creation,
Okay,
the
so
intelligent design?
creation. Okay.
Right, because I believe you're a young Earth creationist as well. I haven't watched any of your content. I've been very busy watching Rob. But I take it that you're a young Earth creationist, correct?
Yeah, I'm not married to 6,000 years, but I would say thousands,
Okay,
not
sure.
millions or billions. Sure.
Sure,
I'm not
sure,
married to
sure.
6,000.
So-
Rob, are you
so
married
where
to
is-
6,000? I'm not. I'm not married to 6,000. But go ahead.
So where is your evidence that your God created the world?
It's a logical conclusion, right? So
Okay,
if
so
times-
I'm not allowed to make logical conclusions, but
you
are.
haven't made a logical conclusion. You
I
made
did.
assumption.
I said we have simulated the environment that would be conducive to this kind of thing, right? We've
Gary,
introduced an
I DM'd you,
excitation.
just so you know.
We've produced an excitation light that is similar to lightning, an electrical spark, and we have demonstrated that under these conditions and with this excitation, which is naturally occurring, right? Electricity is naturally occurring. Amino acids synthesized from non-organic materials, and amino acids are the building blocks of life. They're the building blocks of proteins. Okay. And so you asked me for evidence, for direct observational evidence, right? So let's
I assume it
hear
was
your
observable
direct
in nature.
observational. Okay, so where
Was it
do we
observable in
observe
nature?
God creating things in nature? Let's apply the
I-
same standard to you.
I didn't say I never claimed my position was like just like you can't prove logic scientifically, you can't prove math scientifically, you can't prove morality scientifically.
You
This
can't
is-
prove math scientifically?
No, you
No,
can
you
prove
can't.
it mathematically.
It's abstract.
This is Rob. This is beyond silly.
Come
I'm
on,
going to run, bro. I
dude.
appreciate your time. You're going to prove math scientifically?
Come on,
I
dude.
You
I
can't.
I can't.
You
I'm going to
can't
run,
prove
bro.
that
I
1
appreciate
plus
your
1
time.
equals 2, homie. I'm sorry.
That
This is-
mathematically you can.
can't.
Not
No,
scientifically.
it's abstract.
No.
Math is abstract.
Cam, I respect you. You're a good dude.
I respect you, brother. I'm sorry that you can't stick around
Yeah,
to prove that
he
your
doesn't
God
know the
exists.
difference between math and science.
Math is a part of science, man.
No,
Math
it's
is a
not.
part of
Okay.
scientific
Math-
inquiry.
That's
Wow.
abstraction.
Science uses
Science
math
is-
all the time.
No,
Wow.
yeah, that's a false equivocation, Kim. You're conflating. Okay, I'm gonna say it. You're conflating the two. It's a false equivocation.
No.
You're using no. Let me finish.
No.
Let me finish, Kim. You're using science with math, but they're not one and the same. Science is observable, math is abstraction. Do they
Math
overlap?
can
Yes.
be abstract.
Yes.
But math is
They are.
used in science
They overlap.
constantly.
You can use science.
Physics is
to-
applied
you can
math,
use
just like
science
the
with
Kentucky
math.
atheist
You
said.
can use math with science, but math deals with abstraction, and science deals with that.
When you apply
That's
math
what we're
to
trying
the
to say.
real world, it's scientific, man.
Math is abstraction. I
Rob.
can't make it.
He doesn't understand the scientific method. He does.
It's not
just-
scientific.
it's
Math
useless.
is not scientific. It's abstraction. It's
You can you can
It's
just keep
useless.
saying these things, but it doesn't make them
But
true.
it's true. I can prove it.
I can't.
I can prove it right now that math is abstraction. I can
Science
prove
is
it.
a
Math
methodology
can
based on
be
observation
abstract,
and
but it is
testing.
not
No, it
always
is
abstract.
abstraction.
So how about okay, hold on. He just said something. Observation, testing, right? And
Right.
everything that comes after that. Replication, independent verification, and peer
I'm
review.
not saying
Right?
it's not
That's the
logical,
scientific
it's
method.
still abstract.
So
No,
why
peer
can't we
review is not
apply
peer
this?
review is not the scientific method. There's no step
What?
in the scientific
Absolutely
method.
it is. Peer
I
review
can't,
is
Rob, I
absolutely
can't.
part of
Have
the
a
Gary's
second.
scientific
getting
method.
Yeah,
frustrated.
I can't. It's there's no
Sorry.
the scientific
You
method
have-
is 6 steps.
This is how we
Peer
determine
review,
whether or
have
not
other people
science
agree
No,
with their
no,
evidence.
no, you're wrong.
No.
Kim. You're just
No.
wrong.
It's not other
Yes,
people
you are. You're
agreeing
wrong.
with it.
You're wrong,
It's not-
Kim. You're just wrong. Math is
Oh.
abstraction. You
Oh
can
my
use math
God.
and science together, but they're not one and the same. Math is logical and deals in the abstract, and you can use science with it. But to say that math is scientific is
When
just
you apply math
wrong.
to the physical world, it is scientific. It is a method of scientific inquiry.
like you said. You're conflating your categories, and that's why Gary.
Rob,
that's
I'm
why Gary
sorry.
lost.
I'm sorry.
You are.
I'm just
You're
not. Rob.
conflating categories. Math is abstract.
I'm really
science.
sorry that you see it this way, man. But it's
No,
just. not
I'm
true.
sorry that you can't see the difference. That math deals in abstraction. Science deals with observable.
When you use
Put
math,
together,
when
but
you use
math on
math
its own
in
is
the
only
physical
abstraction,
to make
and science
physical
on its own is only
observations,
observable.
to
You
compile
can use
data
them
about the
together,
physical world,
but they're
it is
not the same.
scientific.
That you can't see this is mind-boggling on your part.
When you use math
Yeah,
in the physical world
yeah.
to make observations and to draw data-driven conclusions about the physical world,
But that's not science.
math
That's
is
induction. That's
scientific.
induction. That's induction.
no, it's
That's
science.
induction. It's no. Then you're using
It's
scientific. It's science, and you're using
You're
induction.
using math as a part of science
It's a.
because you've
It's a-
applied it to the physical world.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, it is, Rob. I'm
abstraction.
sorry.
Can you see?
Most of science,
can you
most of
observe-
physics proofs are
No,
just
Tim.
math equations, man.
Let me ask you a question. Can you
Shoot.
observe -4 Celsius? Can you observe it?
Yes,
No, you can't.
yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Yes, you can. You can
Okay, this is
observe the
embarrassing
conditions
for you.
of different objects under those
Uh,
conditions.
No, Kim,
You
you're
can measure
observing-
the amount of frost that has developed on a piece of metal pipe.
You're,
And you
you're
can,
missing.
you can mathematically calculate the rate at which that pipe freezes over. I don't.
Oh, Kim,
What are you
this
getting
is
at?
embarrassing
Man?
for you, man.
I'm
For
sure
you, it's embarrassing.
man.
I'm laughing because it's embarrassing for you. I'm trying to help you, but you're not letting me help you.
All right, so help me, Rob.
Okay. The reason I'm saying you can't measure, you can't observe -4 is because 4 is an abstract thing. You can feel the temperature of -4, but 4
Okay.
itself is totally abstract.
So you're telling me that I can't see a pipe freeze over at a different rate? When it's
No, I'm
under-
saying you can't. No, see again, you're misunderstanding. You can't. You can see the pipe freeze over. That's
Kentucky, be
scientific.
nice. Kentucky, be nice.
Okay. But what you can't see is the number. You can't see the number. The number is
The
abstract.
number is just the label that we call these conditions.
Whatever. So that you're just arguing semantical. Like you're just
No,
digging
it
yourself.
matters. It matters.
Okay, but you're digging yourself a hole. I'm trying to help you get out of it. That's all I'm trying to do. But you can't see it.
Okay, so if I calculate the rate at which a metal pipe freezes over at -4 Celsius, right,
Right.
and compare it to the rate that a pipe freezes over at -6 Celsius, that's not math.
That's math.
Okay, and so I've used math as a part of a scientific inquiry because
Yeah,
I'm observing and testing and measuring
But you're still
the
you're
rate
still-
of frost on a metal pipe. That's math used with science.
I
Used
agree.
in a scientific inquiry. So math is
You're
scientific.
using them together, but what I'm saying is if you use math on itself by itself, it's not scientific.
Okay, well, that's not what we're doing. We're using
That's
math
what
as
you
a
did.
part of
That's
the
what Gary
scientific
and
inquiry.
that's what Gary and I were trying to tell you, that it's a separate subject. Math on itself is abstraction. If you can't understand that, then I don't know what to tell
When
you.
you got to listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
When you use math
Mhm.
to observe phenomenon and
Mhm.
gather data and draw
Mhm.
conclusions about
Mhm.
physical phenomenon in the physical world,
Mhm.
that is science. That is scientific inquiry. You are using math as part of a scientific inquiry. Science is applied mathematics.
No, you're still out to lunch a little bit, and I'll explain why.
Okay.
Because science, on the face of it, and this is what Gary was trying to tell you too. Okay, just listen to the terms, and you'll see that, and you'll understand. Okay, science deals with us, which can be observed, tested, repeated. That's the scientific method.
Okay.
Are you agreed?
Yeah.
Okay. Math deals with abstraction. 2 + 2 = 4. The reason it's abstract is because I can't see the number. That doesn't mean it's not true, but it means it's abstract. Are we in agreement?
I agree that math can be abstract, and it's often used abstractly, yes.
I'm saying math on its own is abstract as a field of science, if you want to put it that way.
Well, that would bring math under science, and you're conceding the point. If math is a field of science, you've conceded the point.
But it's still abstract, is my point.
It can be abstract, absolutely, but it
On
isn't
it-
always abstract.
On its own, it's always abstract.
So if I use math by itself to count the number of trees in my backyard, is it still abstract?
Yep.
Abstract?
Yep.
Okay. Because it's suddenly tied to a physical thing.
Right.
If I use math to measure the width of my tree's trunk, that's abstract? That's not okay, because I would call that science.
I would say
I have applied mathematics to a physical phenomenon.
I would say it's abstract science.
Measuring the size of a tree trunk is abstract science to you.
No, the measurement isn't. The method is.
The method is me putting a ruler to the tree trunk.
But I'm just saying the numbers on them on the face of it are still arbitrary and abstract.
I mean, sure, but so is language and everything else that humans do.
But I'm not disputing that.
Okay. But that doesn't make math unscientific. That makes it scientific.
Can you observe a number?
I'm pretty sure I have something with a number here.
But the only reason that makes sense
of me, but here, there's a number, 9.
Okay. But the only reason that makes sense to your mind is because you understand how the abstract and the material work together.
Yeah, because I've applied it to a physical phenomenon, which makes it science. When I apply it to a physical observation, hey, the trunk is yay big. Let me measure it to see exactly how big it is.
I'm not just saying it, but I'm just saying this is a little bit more semantical than I'm really.
Rob, are you an anti-realist? Nitty wants to know if you're an anti-realist.
Not at all.
Because that would be kind of based of you.
I think that's a little stretch, but anyways, this is too semantical for my liking.
Unfortunate. It's not a semantics question, Rob. It's a mathematics is applied science. When you apply math to a physical observation, it's scientific.
Okay, let me put it this way. Math on the face of it is abstraction, and you can use math to infer things that are true.
In the physical world, yes. Which makes it science.
A branch of abstract science. It's abstraction still. It's still abstraction. And I'm not going to budge from that, so let's move on.
So what would you call I
just said I'm not going to budge from it, so I already know.
Okay. Well, I want to know what you call the other side of this split. Then, what do you call concrete science? What is concrete science?
That should be observed, tested, repeated.
So if I observe the size of a tree trunk, and I test the size of the tree trunk, and I repeatedly observe the size of the tree trunk, that's concrete science, right?
Right.
And if I use math to do that, then it's still concrete science, right?
It's abstract, but yes. Basic Chem, you're not going to get me here. Just move on. Just move on. Just move on. Just move on.
Oh man, I think this has got to be like the fundamental disconnect, man. And I'm really sorry because I do want to help you. I think you're a good person, and I want to
help you too. So we're just saying it differently. That's all.
Well, Kentucky, I'm just going off of his of his.
I'm not.
language here,
I
so.
just noticed he was trolling everything that you were saying, everything that was going on. So I didn't have the. I don't really pay. I'm not paying attention
That's
to
fine.
it.
That's fine.
I'm on full screen. It's easier for me to focus too when I'm not paying attention to other stuff. So
Can I ask you what your problem is with Peter and his non-monogamy?
No, that wasn't. I misunderstood it. I just simply misunderstood it. That's all.
Well, no, you said to Gary that it was that you said to Gary earlier, because I was listening as I was making my food.
No, I was talking about Abigenis with Gary.
No, just earlier. You said something to Gary. You said this guy Peter, he has 2 girlfriends and he talks to me about morality.
Yeah,
Do you have a problem with non-monogamy?
I have a problem with the relationship of with Peter's relationship in regards to the Bible standard for morality. Yes.
Okay. So would you call that immoral?
I would. No, it's just
Even though all parties are consenting?
Yes, and yes. It's still immoral.
Interesting.
According to the Bible, it's immoral, and I'm going by the Bible. So it's not me saying it; it's God Himself saying it.
Interesting. Okay. So you're telling me that if 2 women came up to you and were like, "Hey, man, we like you, we want to be in a relationship with you," you'd say no.
I would say no. Honest.
It's wild. That's really wild.
I'm a one-man woman.
Okay. I'm
a one-woman man.
I'm looking over my notes here. Oh, I totally forgot. You like Ken Ham. You are an AIG Young Earth creationist, aren't you?
To the degree that I understand what he's talking about and agrees with some of his stuff, yes.
Okay.
But I don't.
All right.
I can't. But I have to say I don't know him enough to say that I agree with all his positions.
Fair enough.
I'm just putting that out there. So
you're a follower of Answers in Genesis, though, and that's an important thing because that.
Yeah, sure. I mean, like I said, to the degree that I can understand and what he's talking about, because I'm to full disclosure, I'm not a scientist, so I try to read stuff that helps me because in terms of scientific, like I understand concepts, but what I don't I'm not familiar with a lot of the Latin, and Peter and Aaron know that. Ask me questions about Latin, and then I don't know, and then they say I'm stupid because I don't understand, and so I'm just like full disclosure. I'm not a scientific person. I understand.
Well, you don't have to be a scientist to read scientific papers, man, and understand scientific discovery.
That's one of the things I'm trying to work on more is reading more science.
Yeah, you should totally do that. That's my of all of the criticisms I dished out to you last night when I was reviewing your debate with Peter. That's the number 1 criticism I'm going to give you.
And that's
you
fair.
don't
that's
read
fair.
it. You need to start reading these papers and understanding how these people come to the findings and reading the data. Know thy enemy. Right.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. I accept that critique as I fully accept that.
The one other thing that I wanted to go over was you mentioned carbon-14 dating last night, and you mentioned the snail that was dated to 27,000 years. Right. Are you aware of the reservoir effect?
No, I'm not.
Okay, so when mollusks, right, which is the family of animals that that snails are a part of, when they construct their carapaces, right? Sometimes they do so with water and limestone that contains it contains carbon dioxide. And so when they build these carapaces mollusks and you carbon-14 date them, you get inconsistent results because of the additional amounts of carbon that are found in their carapaces. This is a well-known effect that happens. So that's why when you can't radiocarbon date mollusks just in general. And that's why we don't do that.
Right.
But carbon-14 dating is not the only kind of radiocarbon dating there is. Do you understand, or rather radiometric dating? Do you understand how radiometric dating works?
No, I do not. I'm trying to get more read up on that stuff.
Okay, can I give you a layman's explanation of how radiometric dating works?
Please do.
Okay, so imagine that we split a mountain in half, right? And we looked at the cross section of the mountain. And at random, we take a chunk of rock out of that mountain, right?
Yeah.
So we say that this rock is made up of isotope X, right? With a half-life of 1 million years. We know that isotope X takes about 1 million years to decay halfway into lead, let's say, right? because when radioactive isotopes decay, they decay into a secondary product. So we take this chunk out, which is 50% isotope X and 50% lead.
I'm not dishonest. Sorry, I'm just responding to a Kentucky guy.
Sure. So we take this rock out, and half of it is isotope X, and half of it is lead. And so we can confidently say, because we know that isotope X's decay rate, right, half-life, is 1 million years, it's that the rock is 1 million years old. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay. So when the rock is 30% lead and 70% isotope X, we can say it's 300,000 years old. When the rock is 3/4 lead and 1/4 isotope X, we can say it's 1.5 million years old, right? Or 2 million years old, rather, because it decayed halfway and then it decayed halfway again. So that's how radiometric dating works, is we measure the physical quantity of certain isotopes and certain decay products in a piece of sediment or rock or fossils in some cases, right? And we can use that to date it. So it really puzzles me, because radiometric dating is a really solid science. We do this constantly, right? And it makes the age of the Earth sort of indisputable, because we can physically pull the rock out of the Earth and physically date it to X number of millions of years, right? I mean, we radiometrically date fossils constantly. We have human fossils of human beings that are older than your proposed creation date. How do you explain that?
Okay, Peter mentioned to me something that I hadn't heard before, but that I understand, but I think it's still not the way. I think it's the way he's reading the data is still incorrect. And I do understand what he's talking about.
Okay.
They talk about it.
I mean, the way Peter reads the data is sort of not important.
No, for the sake of this conversation, it is.
Well, no, because that speaks to his opinion about the date of a particular rock, right? We're talking about
I'm talking about something. I'm talking about this whole thing altogether. Can I tell you what I'm talking about?
Sure.
Okay, so Peter's asked me what the speed of light was, and I told him, and the answer I gave was right. It's about 180,000 or 300,000 kilometers a second.
No, it's just under 300,000 meters per second, not kilometers.
Oh, okay. Well, he didn't correct that, so whatever.
He should have, yeah. But
okay. So 300,000 meters per second,
yeah.
And it takes about 7-8 minutes from the light to travel from the sun to the Earth.
Yeah, about 8.5.
Yeah. So what Peter did is he calculated that time and that distance to get the age of billions of years.
Okay, so
planetary evolution.
Okay. So we're talking about light in a vacuum, and we're talking about the speed of light in space and how we use that to determine the age of celestial objects, right?
Yes.
So you look up at a patch of sky and you see a star.
Right.
And the light from that star is redshifted, meaning that because it's traveled so long, the other wavelengths have dissipated, and what you're seeing is the majority of the red that's left, right? Because red as a wavelength has the longest wavelength and it travels the furthest in a vacuum. So we can measure how much that light has been redshifted. So we know how far that star is from us, meaning we know how old that light is. Because we know how fast light travels, and speed, or rather distance, is just speed over time, right?
Right.
So we know how long it took to get here. We know how fast it's going, which means we know how far away it is. And if we know how far away it is, we know how old that light is. So if the light is 10 billion years old...
I have a problem with that.
Okay. What is your problem with that?
My problem is, if the way I read the data, which of course we disagree with, that's fine. That's what makes this fun, right?
Sure.
I still think that God made it in an instant, and it's traveling that long. So I don't think that...
Okay, so how could God have made this thousands of years ago, but it took light billions of years to travel to Earth?
Well, okay, let me ask, what is the actual, I don't know, I have the number in front of me. What is the actual, it takes 7-8 minutes.
From the sun to the Earth, yes. But we're talking about a star
Yep.
somewhere fuck off over there, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if that light takes billions of years to get to us, we can confidently say
it's taking 7-8 minutes. It's taking 7 or 8 minutes.
No, Rob. That's the sun. That's the sun. The distance from the sun to the Earth is 8 light minutes. It
Okay.
takes light 8 minutes to go from the sun to the Earth.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, it takes light 30 minutes to go from the sun to Jupiter.
Okay.
Right?
Mhm.
The closest star, Proxima Centauri, takes light 4 years to get from that star to us.
But really,
And
the
we
only
can
one that
observe
really-
stars
the only-
billions
the
of
only-
light years away.
right, but for the most part, the only one that makes sense is us because we're the one that need light for life.
We don't need the light of other stars, Rob.
I'm pretty sure we need the sun.
We need the sun, but not other stars.
That's what I was saying.
Right. But how do
So
you
that's what I
explain that?
say. Pardon?
How do you explain the age of other stars?
I don't know. It's not my field of expertise. But I don't think that the argument is as solid as you guys think it is.
I mean, it's pretty solid if your proposed creation date is in the thousands of years, man. If you're saying that the Earth was formed at least at a maximum 10,000 years ago, right?
Right.
And we have observed objects that emit light that are at a much further distance than 10,000 light years. I mean, we have taken photographs of stars that are billions of years old. Our star, our own sun, has been around for much longer than that.
How do you know that?
Because we can study the nuclear fusion that's going inside the sun. We can measure what state of its life cycle it's in.
How do we measure that?
By taking a look at the fusion reactions that are going on inside the sun. Right?
Okay.
It hasn't grown into a red giant. It's not in the late stages of its life cycle. We know it's not in the early stages of its life cycle because there are planets orbiting around, and freshly born stars usually don't have planets around them because that's usually a very violent and tumultuous period of their life cycle. So
Right.
we know that the sun is a main sequence star somewhere in the middle of its life cycle,
But
and we
no
can
one's-
compare that.
But we haven't observed it.
What do you mean? We observe it every day, man. What are you talking about?
We observed it. We observed.
We have
this
satellites
happen.
orbiting the sun, taking measurements, collecting scientific data, collecting mathematical data, right?
Sure.
And we plug these into our models, and we can predict solar activity. That's the other thing, is predictive power. The models that science creates to explain natural phenomenon have predictive power. I have to double check which planet it is, but there is a planet in our solar system that was discovered purely through mathematics.
Really?
Yeah, I think it might have been Uranus or Neptune. I have to double check, or Pluto maybe. But an astronomer noticed eccentricities and unusual patterns in the orbit of one of the outer planets, and said, "Hey, that is indicative of there being another planet past its orbit that's acting on it strangely, right? Because that's how gravity works in space." And so they did the math and they figured out, well, if this is true, then I should find X planet at this location on this date at this time. And they looked up in the sky and found it. They found it. They observed it. Math predicted the presence of that planet.
Interesting.
There you go. Neptune and Pluto were both discovered mathematically because science has predictive power.
Okay.
Your model doesn't have predictive power. You can't predict things into the future. You can only accommodate for things that you have now.
Give me a for example.
I just gave you an example.
No, I mean like a for example from the Bible. That the model you're saying
Well,
you're suggesting is that.
the easy one would be creation, right? Creation
go ahead.
predicts that there is no genetic variability within created kinds, and that's incorrect. We find lots of genetic variability.
Because, but
The
the
barometric
Bible
model doesn't account for hybrids, and it doesn't account for reduced gene flow.
the Bible doesn't dispute variances. I don't know where you're going with that.
It does. It doesn't predict things, is what I'm saying. It makes no predictions. I guess the only prediction it made was the end of the world, and that hasn't happened.
Have you read the Bible? Have you read the Bible?
Yeah.
It makes a ton of predictions.
Okay. I mean, unless you're talking about the Book of Daniel, because the Book
Yeah.
of Daniel doesn't make predictions, man.
It does.
It only makes one prediction.
It makes
and that hasn't
tons
happened
of
yet.
predictions.
No, it doesn't. It makes no, because the author of the Book of Daniel wrote all of that shit several hundred years after he claimed he was writing the book. The Book of
And you
Daniel's
know this
authorship
how?
is
How do you know that? How do you know
disputed
that?
widely. Have you read Bart Ehrman's discussions about the Book of Daniel? It's widely disputed.
I've read some Bart Ehrman, but I have not read that.
Yeah, so the Book of Daniel's authorship is widely
But
disputed.
I've already been able to poke holes in Bart Ehrman, some of other Bart Ehrman stuff. So
Okay, well, the Book of Daniel's authorship is widely disputed within Christian scholarship.
okay,
It is essentially consensus that most of what was written in Daniel was written several hundred years after the fact. But I can pull up the specific predictions because I know one of them isn't true. Daniel, hold on. Book of Daniel predictions.
Oh, what do you think of this guy?
Absolutely no effective theory for a purely naturalistic mechanism for origin of life. Not yet. Abiogenesis is the leading candidate for this. It is still an unanswered question in biology.
Oh,
So-
but can I say something then?
Sure, go ahead.
If you don't know, then you can't rule it out that God did it either. That's on the face of it.
We can rule out that which has no evidence, and create the creation intelligent design thing has no evidence. And in fact, all of the evidence that we have found through the fossil record points to it not being true.
How do you figure?
I'm looking because we have fossil records that go back past your proposed creation date. That would be number one.
I
How do you
disagree.
explain the fossils? We have human fossils that go back much further than 10,000 years, man. The oldest human fossils are 200,000 years old.
I disagree.
What do you mean you disagree? You can go look at them in a museum.
Hmm.
They
Well-
exist. They are physical objects that have been dated.
No, I don't disagree with that. I disagree with something else.
What is it that you disagree with?
I disagree with how the data is measured, and I disagree that it was a evolutionary chain of events that caused it.
Okay. Boy. I don't really know how to tackle that because I've presented the key piece of evidence here. We have fossils that are older than your proposed creation date.
And again, I've already thrown back to reasons why I believe it's not true.
You don't have reasons. You just
do.
say it doesn't make sense.
No,
I
I
don't
gave
understand it.
I gave reasons. You're not listening.
Okay, explain 200,000-year-old human skeletons.
There are none.
We have them. We have found them. They
There are
physical
skeletons,
objects.
but there's no
Okay.
skeleton that old.
We have dated them. We've radiometrically dated them to be that old.
That's what you think you've done.
No, we've done it. Like
Sure
the
you
studies are published and peer reviewed. We have done it. The data is there. It is available.
I believe that the data is there to observe as it has been presented. But that's it.
What does that mean?
It means
You're thinking they're fudging the numbers.
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's not a truth claim. That's a conspiracy claim, which I'm not going to tackle because that's a silly thing to say.
That's such a childish response in my report.
Well, it's just a silly thing to say to claim conspiracy. You haven't even read the data. You haven't read the papers.
I know it is.
You don't-
Well, no, you're just arguing. This is just silliness, Ken.
It's what?
You're just you're being silly.
I'm being silly?
Yeah.
You're the one claiming there's a conspiracy in science to fake the numbers. Why would we want to fake the numbers?
So you can rule God out of the equation.
We don't need to rule God out of the equation.
You're doing
we
it
go
by
where the evidence. We go where the evidence takes us, and the evidence does not take us to God.
It does.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
No, it doesn't. Flat
Then you're
out,
just-
it doesn't.
You're
Lucy is older. Is 3.7 million years old.
See, this
And we
is
can see the
this
hominid
is-
progression
see-
over the fossil record.
You see, Kim, this is a problem from my side. From my point of view, you're just arguing from incredulity.
No, I'm not arguing from incredulity.
Yes, you are.
I'm telling you, here is the. You asked
You're
me.
telling me
You asked
doesn't
me,
mean
where is the
I'm-
evidence?
You're
I
telling me
presented you
things-
with the fossil, and you're saying that's not true.
No, I'm
Okay.
saying the way it's read isn't true.
Have you read it?
Yep.
You have read the specific study on this specific fossil.
Some of them, not all of them.
Some of them. Okay, so let me. Oldest human fossil. Hold on. Oldest human skeleton. I will send you the link so you can read. OMO group. The OMO group.
Okay, I'm gonna send you some AIG stuff. I don't care what you say.
That's fine. You can send me all the AIG stuff you want. I will put this in our private chat here.
Sure.
There is the paper from the NIH.
I'm supposed to be
And you can
talking
read
about atheism, not evolution, but you wanted to go there, so
Well,
that's fine.
atheism is just saying, man, I don't believe that you have that your God exists. I don't believe that this God
Yeah,
exists
but
because you haven't
that's-
demonstrated that your God exists.
But that's just a claim.
No,
Yes, it is.
it's an unaligned state. I
It's
am
still
not.
a claim.
I equally disbelieve you, and as much as I disbelieve Catholics and Jews and
No, that
Muslims
isn't-
and Buddhists.
That's irrelevant. It's irrelevant.
Yeah,
It's still a
rejection is
claim.
not an argument.
Exactly. Rejection is not an argument.
Yeah. So
your
I'm not
claim-
making any arguments or claims when I say I don't believe you.
Sure, you are.
No, I'm not.
Because of course you are.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying that you haven't convinced me.
But
There are
but-
other more convincing explanations
but my
that align with the natural world and
but-
what we see in the natural
but
world.
your inability to grasp what I believe is not my problem.
No, you're right. Your inability to demonstrate what you believe is your problem, though.
Therein lies the problem with and that's why we have these discussions.
Right. Is that you fundamentally cannot produce your God, and so
And you fundamentally cannot disprove it.
I don't have to. You can't.
I
You
can-
can't produce it. That
can
which is
produce-
asserted without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
Oh, come on. Did you parrot that from Matt Dillahunty?
No, that's Hitchens' razor.
Okay, well, I've heard that from Matt Dillahunty so
Okay,
many
that-
times.
That's
So it's
fine.
you're
Doesn't
parroting.
matter who you heard it from.
Okay, you're
It
parroting.
still rings true.
Well, you're
That
still
which is
parroting.
that which is presented without evidence can be dismissed without evidence.
So then atheism can be dismissed.
No, because atheism isn't a position.
Sure it is.
Atheism is a
Otherwise
lack
we
of
wouldn't-
position.
Come on, if we wasn't in a position, we wouldn't be able to debate. That you're being intellectually dishonest now.
No, you
Yes, you
fundamentally
are.
you're confusing atheism with anti-theism. I don't
No.
believe that there isn't a God. I'm not convinced that your God is real. That's a different position.
But that's still a claim. It's irrelevant.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't. I mean,
We're arguing right
just
now,
saying
like,
nuh-uh.
I
like
mean,
it's
How
It's
how
just
much
not a
lack of
position,
self-awareness?
Rob.
How much do you have to lack self-awareness before I can convince you that you're wrong?
the only way that you're going to convince me that you're right is if you produce your God empirically.
No, but I'm not even talking about that. I'm just talking about in the face of it that it's a claim and it's a position. If you can't conceive that, then we can't even argue.
It's not that I can't conceive of it. I can conceive of a world where a God exists and where creation.
No, you're still
happens,
missing my
right?
point. In order for us to have a debate, we have to have positions. If you can't concede that, then you're just ignorant.
My position is that you don't have enough evidence to make a claim, Rob.
And my position is that you're philosophically inept.
Okay. You can have that position. The evidence, though, in the natural world, when we observe the natural world, right, shows us that your position is fundamentally untrue. There is nothing
no.
about your position that explains the natural world better than what we currently have. And for that matter, there's nothing in the natural world that can only be explained by your position, right? When we look at the constellation of observations, intelligent design doesn't account for anything.
But you'd have to at least agree that naturalism can't explain itself because that's circular.
What? Naturalism cannot explain itself? What does that mean?
That means that you can't justify the thing with the thing.
We're not justifying naturalism. Like we're just saying the preponderance of evidence points towards a natural explanation.
But that's circular.
No, it's not. It's analyzing the evidence and seeing where it points. And
Good
it
at
points
semantics, but you're going to get destroyed.
Rob, you haven't destroyed me once since we started talking.
Apparently, an atheist thinks otherwise.
Okay. and it's just one person's opinion.
True, but you might want
Again,
to
we observe the preponderance.
it's someone
of
on
evidence,
your
and it
own
points-
side who thinks
I
you're
don't.
getting
It's this isn't a team sport, Rob.
okay.
This isn't a
Actually,
team event. I don't care what other people have to say, right?
Okay.
Necessarily.
but that's not necessarily true. I'm not saying for you, but I'm saying for atheism and theism. Atheism usually do tag team, at least in my observation.
Okay, but I'm not doing that, right? I
did steel man my response by saying you don't, but a lot of atheists do.
Okay,
That's all.
we're not talking about other atheists right now. We're talking about nature. We're talking about what we observe in nature, and we're talking about the evidence that gives us and where that evidence points. And that evidence squarely points in the direction of a natural explanation.
No, it doesn't.
So explain the fossil record.
Now we're going in circles.
Well, yeah, because we keep coming to the nuh-uh. Okay, so explain the fossils, because that's the primary point of evidence that we have towards a
Noah's
naturalistic explanation.
Noah's flood.
We have no archaeological evidence of Noah's flood.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. There is not a
Inference
single
theory.
piece of evidence that shows a global flood. Do you understand the amount of physical devastation that a global flood would cause? We would have a permanent record of that in the geologic
We do.
strata, and we don't.
We do. Yes, we
No,
do.
no, we don't.
Yes, we
Point
do.
me. Okay, show me. Go ahead.
The
I
fossil
will.
record.
Let me. Okay, show me.
Fossil record.
Show me. Send
The
me a
fossil
link to
record.
something. Okay,
Boys,
what
the
in the fossil record? What in
The
the fossil
entire
record?
freaking fossil record
What
is
in the
evidence.
fossil record? We don't have a mass extinction event 6,000 years ago. That's incredibly recent in geologic time, man. We would have very clear evidence of it. We don't. But if
We
you
do.
have evidence, please present it.
We-
Send me a link to where they've seen the effect of a global flood in the geologic strata. Please.
I will later.
Okay. Well, I don't know that later is ever going to come, so you might as well do it now.
No, because I don't have it right now because I wasn't prepared for this discussion right on the fly.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to you presenting this at a later date.
No, it's going to be today.
Okay. Well, at a later date, at a later
Okay.
time.
All right.
Sure. I
Hey,
mean, I'd love to see it, but
Is there anything else you'd like to discuss?
I just hope that you read what we send you, man.
I will.
I'm trying to come here as an ambassador of goodwill, right? I don't want to treat you harshly.
No,
I think Peter
appreciate
treated you pretty harshly last night. He was very aggressive.
But Peter,
and
the thing is, Peter is aggressive all the time with me. That's why we don't get along.
Yeah, he works for Aaron. I think that these guys have just been around the block too many times, and they just don't have much patience anymore, and that's fine.
I agree. That's fine. Yeah, and that's why I blocked because I don't want to be in that space all the time, and he gets under my skin more than anybody else, and I just don't want to have it in my life.
That's fair.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
Yeah, no worries. Other than that, I don't really have anything else for you.
Okay.
So if that's all, if there's nothing else that you want to discuss, I have some things that I have to get to work on. So
No, I got a guy coming on in about a little over an hour and a half, so I want to prepare for that show too. And I got other
All right.
stuff.
Cool. So if you give me 2 quick minutes, I'll address the chat here. My name is Kem Regic. I'm a published writer in the Second Amendment space. You can find me on Twitter at Kemregik, Kemregik. I also have a YouTube and an Odyssey under the same name. I talk with Rob and other people like this all the time. If you want to have a civil discussion and come talk natural stuff with me, or libertarianism or politics or guns or anything, come find me. I'm generally a pretty chill guy. Even Rob can tell you that much.
I agree. I will concede that Twitter's a cesspool. So
Twitter is a place. Twitter is a place, and I wish I didn't have to be on there as much as I am.
Well, the only reason I'm on Twitter is because of my work in apologetics. So
yeah,
that's just me. So I'll just give a bit of background. So because people are going to ask me anyway, so it's probably going to come up in debates as I get a little more traction and notoriety. So I was admittedly born and raised in a Christian Reformed home, meaning like it's a form of Protestantism, but it's a little more strict than your average. It's pretty rules-based, but grace-based. But the rules and grace-based thing kind of messed with my head because I didn't know gravitate towards at first, and that was hard for me. But eventually, over time and growing up, I reconciled grace with works, and now I'm at a place where I understand simply that grace is freely given, and that works are a result of gratitude. Simple put. I also want to say that for people who think that I just believe it because I was raised in it are just stupid and ignorant, because I have in my 20s and 30s, like most people, I was exposed to naturalism, atheism, evolution, and so I was really questioned deeply in my faith, and it was rocked. I honestly was agnostic for about 6 months to a year. Honestly,
Wow.
didn't know. Yeah, so honestly, I was rocked. I was in Christian university, but I was torn. I'm like, I don't know what to make of this, and like I just can't believe it just because my parents believe it.
You should never believe something just because your parents believe it. Right?
Yeah, but a lot of people do.
Yeah. No, and I'm not accusing you of that. I'm gonna commend you for making up your own mind. Right. That's something that atheists, generally we're really big on, is make up your own mind. Don't let anybody else tell you what to think. Yeah. Look at the available evidence and make up your own mind.
Okay, so I'm just going to do a little synopsis because I don't want to go too long.
I will let you do that. I do actually have to go. Kentucky, hit me up.
Yep. Okay, I'm gonna tell my socials before you go then too.
Okay.
So my main social is at Rob Loves JC at Twitter. My debate channel is at Rob Loves Debates. My parody account is atheism philosophy philosophy of a parody of philosophy. I couldn't do parody of philosophy because Twitter said it was too long. So that's my parody account. But so far, atheists haven't, for the most part, figured it out, except for one guy.
Jeez. All right. Well, I'll check you later, Rob. Have a good one.
Oh yeah, and my YouTube channel is Robert Gruen. G-R-O-N is my last name.
Oh yeah.
So
is it Gruen? I thought it was Groen.
It's Gruen. It's Gruen. It's Dutch. I'm okay. Dutch like Peter.
I apologize for butchering it. I
don't really care. It's spelled G-R-O-E-N. If you want to check out my YouTube.
All right. I'll check you later, Rob. Have a good day.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to continue my thing. So, I'm born and raised in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada, which is about an hour west of Toronto. I've been in both grade school and public school. I took computer sciences and law and security on the public system, and I took everything else like religious studies at the Christian university, the Christian stuff. And then I worked a bunch of jobs. Most of my jobs were security, industrial work, ministry work, and social work. Social work was actually my favorite thing, but I don't have anything right now. So right now I'm writing, I'm doing apologetics, I'm doing self-defense, and I'm trying to maybe do a little acting and producing on the side. And also I am working for warehouse in warehouse in Hamilton as well. So we got a lot of things going on, and I'm training like crazy with martial arts, and I got a tournament or two coming up, plus 5 debates. That pretty much sums up my life. Oh yeah, also my other passions other than apologetics, preaching and teaching. Next one is martial arts. I'm taking Krav Maga, karate, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and kickboxing, Muay Thai. And after that, I enjoy the odd game poker. I also enjoy a good book. I also enjoy good action movies, good music. I like Sum 41. And I love to play drums. I love photography. I love to exercise. Pretty much sums up my life. And it's a lot of stuff I like. So, I love the what do you call? Okay. I have computer sciences. I have religious studies. I have English major, and I have apologetics. And what else? Oh, and a little bit of theater and acting. Yeah, there's not always a straight answer to all the nitty-gritty in life. I'm not gonna lie there. I don't know everything. I don't know close to everything for that matter. 2017. Any of those you reject? What? Yeah, I'm with Utopia Buster. Oh, I see. Funny nitty. Oh, atheists always got to be clever. Yeah. That's the thing with atheism. Oh, yeah, also, I got something I want to show about the scientific method. Atheists and macroevolution seem to have a hard time. So we're going to put that up on the screen just so there's no misunderstandings about what the scientific method is. Because I know this gets buried in the weeds, so to speak. And this was courtesy of a friend, so I'll just leave it at that. All right. All right. All right. Let's see if I can find it here. All right, you guys go ahead in the comment section while I wait for someone else to come on. Here we go. All right, I gotta put this in download. Nitty, you're a bad faith atheist. All right, this is the scientific method. Now, what I want people to do is tell me how abiogenesis or macroevolution fits the scientific method. That's the challenge for the atheist. Nitty, you've been presented with a challenge. Show me how abiogenesis or macroevolution fits. Because you're just, that's how it's bad faith. You're not arguing any points. You're just making baseless, stupid, same old crap. All right, answer it. Because they want to observe abiogenesis, or they want to observe macroevolution. That's irrelevant. Just any God. Just say a God. The God of the Bible. I shouldn't say that. It's not irrelevant. It doesn't matter. No, I don't. I don't see how it fits a scientific method because no, it hasn't been observed. Okay, well, whenever you're ready. It's only because you think of God as a human being. This is a stupid category error. Try to think outside the box, maybe. Comparing God to humans, such a stupid, man. Who's ignoring? Are you talking to me or someone else? I'm doing a lot of things at once. So you're gonna have to be a little bit more understanding. I know that's no. Oh my God, Kentucky, get the hell out of here with that nonsense. Freaking snowflake. I just answered Nitty once in a while. Jeez, man. I'm not here for. I can't be everything for all things for all people. If you think I'm supposed to be, then you just get the hell out of my Twitter or my YouTube or StreamYard. Okay, good. Snowflake, Kentucky idiot. Jeez, what a fucking idiot. Still waiting for see who can prove that macroevolution is the scientific method. That's the goal. How can you know without a Bible? Well, obviously, the Bible is not the only source of knowledge, so that's just a stupid question, Eddie. We can know a lot of things without the Bible. This is stupid. Well, you never showed it. You just made stupid claims. You didn't back it up. Okay, see you, man. I'm not accusing you, Brendan. I'm not like Peter on YouTube. Got to go for it. The bad faith atheist. I understand that people have lives. Yeah, exactly. We know what about the Bible. That's the problem. One of the problems with atheists is they ask ambiguously at some points, and then really technically at some. Hey, I just got here. I was wondering how theists define the word exist regarding God. It's not part, space, or time. Well, that's just easy. God has always existed. There, that answers that question. Okay. Hello, this is Robert speaking. I'm well, you? Yep. Yep. Yes. Everything is good. I don't need you got. I will stop you with all your questions. Everything is good. I'm good for the 15th at 8 to 2:30. Nope. No, I do not. I rearranged my schedule so everything is good. Mhm. Nope. Mhm. Yep. Good. Mhm. Good. Yeah. Mhm. Yep. Okay. Nothing will. Nothing will. Nothing will. Okay. If something happens, I will let you know. If something happens, I'll let you know. All right. All right. Good day. Bye bye. The problem is atheists don't understand things. God has always existed. I don't know how else to explain that to you, Jermaine. If you can't understand that, then I don't know what to tell you. Hmm. Yes, time did not always exist. That's good. That's a very well put, Utopia Buster. All right, I gotta send out a link to somebody. All right. You guys can keep on talking. I got to talking. I gotta send out a link for a second here. You're right, Utopia. Mm. Yep, I agree. Utopia Buster, you should join me in the chat, buddy. This is getting spicy. I think I gotta need to take a break for the guys because I got something to do in about an hour and I need to get some exercise and stretch my legs. So I'm gonna end the stream, or maybe I'm just I'm gonna have to end the stream because I gotta close the laptop. But yeah, I need to get some exercise, guys. I stretch my legs. All right, talk to you later. See ya.